from Royal Communications Incorporated. Good evening and welcome to King's News, Broom 45 minutes news about Liberia, Africa, in our one word. Today is Monday, February 16, 2026, and I'm Sherman Dia presenting. In the headlines, government of Liberia yet to release statement amid citizens' alignment concerns for clarity on the formation of tribal group National Fuller Security of Liberia. Lofa County Senator Momo Cyrus predicts potential national security threat, says government continue outsourcing of vehicle registration and driver license services to Liberia traffic management could expose the country to more harm. And also in the news tonight, Liberia National Police arrest former members of Timon workers of Liberia during Monday's peaceful protest. Spokesperson of the protesters, Robert Gopansi, vows to continue protest over government's own US 7.1 million. Away from home, reports say at least 20 people were killed in Saturday on the northern town of Tido, Burkina Faso, in attacks claimed by NJNIM and Islamic militant group linked to Al Qaeda. 3 South Africans have been charged with murder following the killings of an healing taxi driver, the man of whose death captured a discom footage has shocked many people. This plus a news bulletin, voices of those making the news are our package. We'll take a short break to be right back. Welcome back at this juncture. We join Jenna Persimmon with the news bulletin.
The government of Liberia is yet to issue an official statement in the widely debated establishment and ongoing training of the National Fuller Security of Liberia. Since late last week, Facebook has been flooded with different reactions from citizens following the release of a video which shows a group of Fuller men in security attire undergoing training. Several Facebookers who have criticized the establishment of a troubled militia said such groups could be turned into a terrorist group, noting that Nigeria and other African nations now facing attacks from Boko Haram, the jihadists, among others, due to less actions taken by their national authorities from the onset. Among several others, urging clarity from government, Maserati County Senator Ibrahim Darras DeLone wants the Ministry of Justice to provide information on the existence of Fulani national security. He noted that under Liberian laws, private security entities must first obtain operational permit from the Public Service Department of the Ministry of Justice before legally operating in the country. The supposed head of the group is loudly heard in the videos giving instructions, a situation which has sparked mixed views, with many condemning the establishment of a tribal national security group. Lofa County Senator and the Senate Committee Chair on Defense and Security Intelligence and Veterans Affairs, Momo Cyrus, are alarmed over serious potential security threats and a breakdown in Liberia's governance system. The Lofa Senator, in a statement issued Monday, predicted that if the government proceed with its decision to outsource vehicle registration and driver license services to the Liberia Traffic Management, and country is likely to face governance deficiencies and potential national security vulnerabilities. According to him, transferring the Ministry of Transport statutory responsibilities to LTM will serve as a wrong precedents amongst the country to more harm than good. He alleged that empowering LTM, an entity he claimed is controlled by foreign interests, will weaken oversight of system which is critical to public safety, identity, government, and law enforcement coordination. Senator Cyrus noted that vehicle registration and driver license are called sovereign functions of the state as they involve the management of sensitive personal biometric and vehicular data. He claimed that Liberia is currently facing emerging transitional threats, including cyber-enabled financial crimes and illicit telecommunications activities, thus calling on the government to refrain from externalizing such functions to the LMT. The Lafayette County lawmaker further urged authorities to prioritize the protection of national security and the preservation of institutional integrity rather than pursuing actions that would place the nation's interests at risk. Dozens of former timber workers of Liberia on Monday took to the streets in Monrovia in demand of USD 7.1 million owed them by the government of Liberia. The protesters chanted different slogans and accused Finance Minister Augustine Gaffon of being a criminal. The spokesperson of the protesters, Robert Gopasi, called for government's immediate redress of the concerns. According to him, they have only received 500,000 United States dollars, which is less to accommodate with their payments. During the peaceful protests, several of the protesters were arrested by Liberian National Police as they threatened to continue protesting until they receive their balance payment. Citizens Movement for Change in Lima County District 7 Representative Musa Ability has criticized the Unity Party-led government for allegedly failing to address pressing national issues affecting Liberians. Speaking Monday on Truth FM, Representative Ability accused the government of adopting a defensive posture in response to its governance shortcomings rather than implementing meaningful corrective measures. According to him, prior to the 2023 elections, many Liberians placed significant trust in the Unity Party, particularly because of its long-standing promises to combat corruption and improve economic conditions across the country. Inhabitants of Combat District in Bapolu County have sharply rejected the government of Liberia's declaration of the Gola Forest National Park as the Gola Foya Reserve for the government. The inhabitants, through the Combat District Development Association, want the government to de-gazette the Gola Forest National Park. They demand that the government remain de-gazette unless the Forestry Development Authority and its implementing partners, the Conservation of Nature of Liberia, hold a major stakeholders conference to discuss issues regarding the district. The Secretary General of the association, Leaple Benda, during a press conference, argued that by law, the management plan of the government of the forest, the FDA, must clearly inform the people of their benefits from preserving the forest. Aggrieved workers of Sigma Group Incorporated have accused the company's management of engaging in unfair labor practices. The group named non-payment of salaries for more than 12 months and failure to implement adequate occupational safety and healthy measures at the workplace as things they are confronted with. Speaking to journalists on Monday at the company's construction site in Grambassa County, the workers alleged that at least 56 employees have gone over a year without receiving their salaries and benefits. The workers further claim that the company has not provided them with formal contractual agreements, describing the institution as a deliberate attempt to marginalize them. They allege that the entity always mandate employees to work on Sundays and public holidays without additional compensation and are provided with essential safety. The Liberian Association of Writers, the law newly inducted President James Dwalu, has called on the Liberian government to settle its outstanding obligations to the Pan-African Writers Association, the PAWA. According to Dwalu, settlement of the government's obligation would help regularize the country's membership status. He, at the same time, warned against growing decline in reading cultural across Liberia's public and private school systems. Dwalu noted that diminishing reading and writing habits among public officials, university professors, teachers, other citizens, and students pose adverse effects effects on the country's educational sector and broader society. Speaking during its induction ceremony, Dwalu argued that urged that the absence of strong reading habits among leaders and educators have set a troubling example for younger generations, particularly university students. Far ahead of the 2029 general and presidential elections, residents of District 5 in Bond County, Stephen Kekula, a permanent son of the area, to contest the district seat in 2029 elections. The endorsement ceremony attracted a large turnout, including members of agricultural cooperatives, village saving groups, and traditional leaders, many of whom openly declared their support for Kekula. During the occasion, residents of District 5 in Bond County expressed disappointment over what they described as betrayal by their lawmaker, Eugene Colley. The, the cited limited development and ineffective representatives. In response, Kekula acknowledged the district's challenges and blamed that he called a lack of security among some authorities. He assured citizens of his readiness to provide effective leadership if elected, while observers described the strong turnout as a sign of major contention in the 2029 race. The National Lottery Authority has officially launched its 5-year strategic plan for digitized the gaming sector, introduce reform both revenue and increase its contribution to welfare in the country. Speaking during the launching ceremony in Congo Town during the weekend, NLA Director General Peter Solo, the strategy plan covers 5 pillars. According to him, the plan will focus on governance, leadership, and institutional reforms by strengthening NLA governance and leadership to enhance transparency and accountability. Solo explained that the NLA will ensure that a fair and or regulated gaming environment protecting players and stakeholders. The NLA Director General indicated improved lottery operations and products modernization by introducing innovative products and modernizing operations to boost revenue and engagement. A Liberian clergyman, John Munger, is encouraging Liberians to remain focused despite the harsh economic situation prevailing in the country. Munger, an apostle of the Ministry of Truth Ministry Incorporated, located in Mobile Town on the Bushore Island, said the economic challenges are in all countries, and as such, there is a need for all hands to be on deck with focus of making things better. He made the comments following a special worship service marking the 19th anniversary of the Ministry of Truth Incorporated held in Mobile Town, Bushore Island on Sunday. And as Ramadan approaches, the chairman of the Crescent Sighting Committee of the National Muslim Council of Liberia, Abdullah Masare is encouraging Muslims to observe the sighting of the month on Tuesday before the beginning their fasting prayer. Recently, the National Muslims Council of Liberia released a calendar leading to the holy month long of Ramadan for the Muslims community throughout the country. Sheikh Masare also called on Muslims to observe the sighting of the moon in neighboring countries, Saudi Arabia, before the beginning of fasting. He further appealed to all imams to pray for the governments and the people of Liberia during the holy month long of Ramadan.
Jenin Pesiman with the news bulletin. The news bulletin is a regular feature on King's Newsroom. A reminder you're listening to King's Newsroom, 45 minutes news about Liberia, Africa, in our one word. Stories we following tonight. Government of Liberia denounces tribal group National Fuller Security of Liberia, claims no knowledge of the group. Lofa County Senator Momo Cyrus predates potential national security threat, says government continue outsourcing of vehicle registration and driver lesson services to Liberia Traffic Management will expose the country to more harm. And also in the news tonight, Liberia National Police arrest former members of Timor Workers of Liberia during Monday's peaceful protest. Spokesperson of the group Rabo Gompasi vows to continue protest over government's own 7.1 million. Away from home, reports say at least 20 people were killed on Saturday in the northern town of Titiao, Burkina Faso, in the attacks claimed by JNRM, an Islamist militant group linked to Al Qaeda. We'll take a break to be right back with voices of the newsmakers. Welcome back and thanks for being there. Dozens of former Timor workers of Liberia on Monday took to the streets in Monrovia in demand of US 7.1 million owed them by the government of Liberia. The protesters chanted different slogans and accused Finance Minister Augustin Gaffon of being a criminal. Spokesperson of the protesters, Rabo Gompasi, called for government's immediate redress of their concerns.
The government abroad due Timor workers $7.1 million. I was supposed to be paid last year and this year. We are talking about 23,000 former foreign workers across in Musurada County across the 15 countries. Over 20 good years they established, and the government of Liberia know about it. We've been waiting, we've been protesting, and Joseph Nyima Bwaka, we have met him over 3 times. And he promised us, not even promised. The president asked for Justice Minister's opinion to grant him the responsibility to pay this money. And the Justice Minister has released the opinion. Last year, 2024, 2025, when we came here at the Minister of Finance, the Minister Dafoe promised us, he called us in an office with the leadership. He called the budget minister, Others Williams. He told the allotment under the domestic debt, $7.1 million. He told us that that money I'm putting in this, the allotment I'm doing, if I send it to the legislature, if it doesn't call it, you will get all your money because your money are overdue. And they sent the budget at the capital bidding. We were so blessed, the entire budget came up with any hindrances. Came out the amount came up with all hindrances. They didn't got any 2025 budget. So the firm were reneging to pay this particular money. All they were doing to get them to divert the money to a different group. We came, we intercepted it. They didn't get the money to the other group. So when the opinion came up, he decided to pay this money. The president told him, don't pay the money small. Get all the money to the Timor workers because the money issue overdue. Government took 500,000 and gave it to former Timor workers. 23,000 former workers.
He is Robert Gompasi, the spokesperson of the former Timor workers of Liberia. Citizens Movement for Change and Nima County District 7 Representative Musa Ability has criticized the Unity Party-led government for allegedly failing to address pressing national issues affecting Liberians. Speaking Monday on Truth FM, Representative Ability accused the government of adopting a defensive posture in response to its governance shortcomings rather than implementing meaningful collective measures. According to him, prior to the 2023 elections, many Liberians placed significant trust in the United Party, particularly because of its long-standing promises to combat corruption and improve economic conditions across the country.
You can't move somebody from power and repeat the same thing the person is doing and defend the same way the person was defending. That's an affront to me. When I see Unity Party justifying every action, it is sad because the Liberian people had expectation. They had there was a reason, and I will act differently. For a party that won election on 17,000 votes, my attitude would be magnanimous. My attitude would be even a fight against corruption. I mean, if you look at you can it baffles the mind of ordinary people to say that there has never been one action, good action against anyone in the sitting government. The message that sends is that everything is perfect and that there's no corruption. Then when you do that, then it means that you are living in a bubble. I'm not saying that there are not good things happening, but the bad things that are happening, the government must also have the courage to prosecute those, to push those from happening. That's when you are seen to be serious. But when your corruption fight looks more like a election year fight, normally it doesn't take you anywhere. But here we are. This is why the CMC is here. We need to change it. Otherwise, Liberia is going to find itself in the circle of revenge. You know,
cycle of revenge.
Yeah, where all that happens now with you is one party comes, in this case, Unity Party, and then all the focus on is CDC, to bring CDC down, to destroy CDC down. Remember, that builds a sense of revenge in the CDC. That built a sense of reprisal in the CDC. So the CDC come to power, you know that they're going to go after the party tooth and nail. But who suffers? You know, in that circle of revenge, you know, we lose sight on our goal as a country. We lose sight on the national vision, and then all of a sudden it's like people did it. I see they did. It's in the but nobody at that time cares for whether people are not in school because they cannot afford school fees.
Musa Hassan Belete, political leader of the Citizens Movement for Change. Inhabitants of Kongba district in Bapolu have sharply rejected the governor of Liberia's declaration of the Gola Forest National Park as the Gola or Foya Reserve for government. The inhabitants, through the Kongba District Development Association, want the government to de-gazette the Gola Forest National Park. According to the Secretary General of the association, Leple Bandi, during a press conference, argued that by law and management plan of the forest, the FDA must clearly inform the people of their benefits from preserving or before preserving the forest.
We have come today to call on the government of Liberia to de-gazette the Gola Forest National Park unless the following demands listed below are met. One, that the Forestry Development Authority, FDA, and implementing partner, the Society for the Conservation of Nature of Liberia, SNL, call a major stakeholders conference as stated in the law and management plan of the forest to clearly inform the people of their benefits from preserving the forest. Two, that the road and bridges leading to the park be fully rehabilitated and maintained at all times. Three, that employment and study opportunities be provided to the people from the district in all fields of study. 4, that program for women empowerment be clearly articulated. 5, that direct affected community be compensated. 6, that safety measures be put in place to prevent the invasions of wild animals and elephants into the communities. 7, that safe drinking water, better health care, quality education services be provided to the people. We also want to be unequivocally clear that the proposed establishment of a new park in Kongba district known as the Gbalo Foya Reserve is unacceptable, and our decision is a firm no to the request. As His Excellency President Joseph and Bokasino stated, in quote, God is no longer creating new land. Therefore, the land in Kongba district, Bapolu County, belongs to the people of Kongba, and they should be duly compensated the forest, which is their source of livelihood is preserved by the government. We call upon all government officials directly responsible for the foreign sector as well as international partners to quickly address the issue flagged today.
Lemple Benda is the Secretary General of the Gongba District Association or Development Association in Bapolo County. Aggrieved workers of the Sigma Group Incorporated have accused the company's management of engaging in unfair labor practices. The group named non-payment of salaries for more than 12 months and failure to implement adequate occupational safety and health measures at the workplace as things they have been confronted with. Speaking to reporters Monday at the company's construction site in Greenbasso County, the workers allege that at least 56 employees have gone over a year without receiving their salaries and benefits.
Well, we have about close to 56 plus workers here who are working on this site. We are engaged them several times, and sometimes they will tell us, "Yeah, we got wait, we come in, we go to your," and because we are all at Broom in West now, we got keep working because we got, because the poverty situation, for us, now we say, yeah, we keep working for all the time. They fail to meet up with a contract sheet concerning Buchanan. And when they came, they told us, and when they told you guys, our leaders, that you guys need to get they need to get a contract sheet. And for every time they put here, they say tomorrow. Every time they come, even they come to safety, you can see everybody with rainbow at this time, rainbows. What's on shining on our feet today? Staple and singles, seeing it, and they are not here. Since on the 16th of December, we gave them the information, we wrote letter to the time. They are not even make a 10 year to come to us and say, oh, this is what going on. From the 22nd of November, engineer came here. We told him about overtime. Since he left, we have not said anything about it yet. So we're still looking up to them. From there up to this time, we not yet nothing. So we decide today to go slow and get any information. What do we say? So I'm the Labor Minister, the Kubokra, and the Labor Commission in Buchanan. Okay. And also the head office. Every day, every month, next month we'll be bringing it up to the time we are not getting. So we decide today. Okay. I've seen they don't want to, we have demand. Let we ourselves put serious now to see if they will come and we have demand. The people will not to kill her first. We're waiting to kill her, they will not to kill her. Anytime we talk, anytime we want to talk, every day, different day, every day, different day, every day, different day. All right. Thank you for talking on they pay attention to us. And the reason why so today we just gather to protest.
Aggrieved workers of the Sigma Group Incorporated speaking during a protest on today. The Voices of the Elders has stepped up its campaign aimed at producing 22,000 chairs for the students at the University of Liberia. The chairperson of the project, Sister Mary Lauren Brown, disclosed that the project earmarked for 6 months and 3 months have already elapsed. Speaking in an interview shortly after the Voices of the Elders presented 100 armchairs to the University of Liberia, Sister Lauren Brown appealed to Liberians to take ownership of the initiative by providing armchair to the highest institution of learning in the country.
Progress is slow, but people are being informed. We hope that because it's a 6-month campaign and we've gone midway, so going forward now we have 3 more months that we must do everything within our power to show that we Liberians can do it. We are not going to reject our brothers and sisters within our borders. If they offer us, in fact, we have gotten some little offer from them. But the main thing is that Liberians, the students, the market women, the pimping boys, the taxi drivers association, everybody would have a stake in this. We've had some rallies already, and we're going to be going around to some of the schools to have these rallies where students get involved and know that this is our university. We are also called upon to partake in whatever is being done. Another thing the university is celebrating is 75th year this year. It's Diamond Jubilee. So with that, we have to make this happen for the university. So going forward, that the whole issue of chairs, armchairs, will just be solved once and for all. That's the whole objective.
Sister Mary Laurie Brown, they're speaking. A reminder, you're listening to King's Newsroom, 45 minutes news about Liberia, Africa in our one word. Stories we follow in tonight. Government of Liberia denounces tribal group National Fuller Security of Liberia claims no knowledge of the group. Lofa County Senator Momo Cyrus predicts potential national security threat, says government continue outsourcing of vehicle registration and driver license services to Liberia Traffic Management, who expose the country to more harm. Liberia National Police arrest former members of team of workers of Liberia during Monday's peaceful protest. Spokesperson of the protesters, Rabel Gonpasi, vows to continue protest over government's own US 7.1 million. Away from home, reports say at least 20 people were killed on Saturday in the northern town of Tito, Burkina Faso, in a fast cleaned by JNRM, an Islamist militant group linked to Al Qaeda. 3 South Africans have been charged with murder following the killing of an 8-healing taxi driver, the manner of whose death captured a dash cam footage has shocked many people. We'll take a break to continue with more voices. Welcome back and thanks for being there. The administration of the Bonk County University has appealed to the national legislature for increment in its allotment in the national budget in order to meet with the financial expenses befitting an institution of higher learning. BCU President Dr. Afersen Ta Konyawa said the institution is operating on the allotment given the college at the time it was Bonk County Technical College, and as such, the university cannot hire the services of more instructors now.
We want to seize the opportunity to appeal to the people of Bonn County, to the people of Liberia, and more specifically our Latin caucus, to continue giving us the support that they have done in the past. Now we are university. We know that there will be expansion in our programs. No if and doubt about this. We want you to continue to commune with your friends you have been with, so that together we can be able to stand and make the university to be on par with us. Now that we are university, we will need to increase our budgetary allotment. We do not have the capacity to do so. It's only the Latin caucus and those that have the voice to push it forward for us. We know very well with your plan for on our behalf, you can do it. And we are also prepared to provide those needed pieces of information you will need to fight for and on our behalf. We'll be able to do this. Right now, we are constructing a football pitch. We started it as a college, but with a dream of becoming a university. We feel that this will benefit us as an institution.
Dr. Afexin Takeweya is the president of the Bonn County University. Far ahead of the 2029 general presidential elections, residents of District 5 in Bonn County has petitioned Stephen Kakula, a permanent son of the area, to contest the district seat in the 2029 elections. The endorsement ceremony attracted a large turnout, including members of agricultural cooperatives, village saving groups, and traditional leaders, many of whom openly declared their support for Kakula. On the occasion, residents of the district expressed disappointment over what they described as betrayal by their current lawmaker Eugene Colley.
Yuji hơ bé cô có bữa bữa cái cô nhu nhà ba pa ma de ko pa e ko no te ko ha ba ha ko ni ko no te ko we kwa de fur blai ko ni ko no te ko we kwa de fur blai so ko na ko wa mo la mi na so me la ma me si bi ma nya ba I pa du mu I kwa mo ko me ke da ka tu wo pa ma ke da de ko ba ka si bi ba go to lai a go tu kwa ti anu kwa ba ke ko la chuchu o
Coco, that's a look with your take.
Bé bà đã bị hút bài đa nữa.
Phải mà.
Hút bài đa nữa. Ok. Cô bà đi đặt cái mưa cho hút bài đó mà. Có mấy thì vốn đi luôn đó.
In response, Kakula acknowledged the district's challenges and blamed what he called a lack of sincerity among some authorities. He assured citizens of his readiness to provide effective leadership if elected, while observers described the strong turnout as a sign of major contention in the 2029 race.
Today, I stand before you with deep gratitude as I conclude my service as president of the Liberia Association of Writers after 2 successive terms.
We sincerely apologize for that wrong accept. We'll bring you the right one in our subsequent newscast. The Liberia, that's the National Lottery Authority, has officially launched its 5-year strategic plan to digitalize the gaming sector, introduce reform, boost revenue, and increase its distribution to welfare in the country. Speaking during the launching ceremony, NLA Director General Peter Solo said the strategic plan covers 5 pillars.
The pillars are governance, leadership, and institutional reforms. Strengthening the National Lottery Authority's governance and leadership to enhance transparency and absolute accountability. 2, regulations, compliance, and enforcement to ensure a fair and regulated gaming environment. We are duty bound to protect players as well as stakeholders. 3, lottery operation and product modernization, introducing innovative products and modernizing operations.
National Lottery Authority Director General Peter Solo there speaking. The Liberian Association of Writers' newly inducted President James Dwalu has called on the government of Liberia to settle its outstanding obligations to the Pan-African Writers Association. According to Dwalu, settlement of the government's obligation will help regularize the country's membership status. He at the same time warned against growing declining reading culture across Liberia's public and private school system.
There's a serious lack of reading habit in this country, from the public sector, public officials, older people to down the line. There are teachers that can't even read. When they want to give the children assignment, they just go online and thank God for technology. They take from other people's work so that they don't even reference, they plagiarize and give it to the students just like that. And that's how students go online. I take the same thing, give it back to them like that. Our professors, our teachers in universities, they need to start writing books in their career area. If you teach economics, what makes it hard for you to write about Liberian economy? Once you teach it and see why the university will not take the economic book, which is based on the higher education curriculum, see why they won't take it, why they won't recommend it to the students. Because it's the same, what the word 1 + 1 = 2. It's not going to be different. It won't be based on your experience in the country here. But there are certain things that you can change in certain books because they're all like Saxon, mathematics, they say. You will not tell someone that in China that 1 + 1 is 10, 1 + 1 is 2 all over the world. So what stops us, our mathematicians, from developing mathematics books? What stops our science teachers at the university from developing science books for high school based on the national curriculum or for reference book or to write for university? They can do it. Once you attain certain position in teaching, the university, you should be able to publish a book, or the university to demand that you should have a published work. So that will help also. A lot of students in the university that can read too. Not that they don't want to read, but teachers are not compelling them as part of their teaching to read. Liberia was a founding member as authorized by the OAU to the resolution in Addis Ababa in the late 80s. The Pan-African Writers Association was established. And we are in a category, along with Ghana, that pay like $50,000 annually. Because of the war years, Power Wave, certain amount of debt from Liberia. And in 2022, Power Wave, Foreign Affairs, telling them that government was due to that continental body. Now, writers, government Liberia, signed up to that resolution.
He is Dualu, that's James Dualu, Liberian Association of Writers, newly indicted president. Meanwhile, the Liberian Association of Writers' immediate past president, Councillor Adewale Kakula, highlighted the implementation of literary programs, training for student writers, and the establishment of book clubs in schools across Nimba and Monserrado counties.
Today, I stand before you with deep gratitude as I conclude my service as president of the Liberia Association of Writers after 2 successive terms. Together, we have walked a remarkable journey marked by growth, creativity, and resilience. Let me first thank the Elections Commission for assisting us usher in this new corps of officers. During my tenure as president, law has hosted programs to honor literary holidays, train student writers, and established book clubs in schools across our country, beginning in Nimba and Monserrado counties. Several schools have already benefited, and many more are expected to follow. We also produced Law's first ever literary magazine, Kundu Kima, meaning think, a title derived from the ancient 2,000-year-old vice script built upon the foundation of our earlier newsletter, which was also called Kundu Kima. Our commitment to literacy has extended beyond classrooms. Today, Law is carrying out a reading initiative at the Monrovia Central Prison, encouraging young inmates to discover the power of writing and the hope it brings. And in Grand Cape Mount County, Law now owns a parcel of land, generously given only with a token by our incoming president, Mr. James Dualu, which is a symbol of continuity and promise for the future. None of this would have been possible without the support of the We Care Foundation.
Councillor Adewale Kakula. Earlier you heard the voice of James Dualu, the Liberian Association of Writers' newly indicted president. As Ramadan approaches, the chairman of the Crescent Sighting Committee of the National Muslim Council of Liberia, Abdullah Mansari, is encouraging Muslims to observe the sighting of the moon on Tuesday before the beginning of their fast and prayer. Recently, the National Muslim Council of Liberia released a calendar leading to the holy month of Ramadan for the Muslim community throughout the country. Sheikh Masarit also cautioned Muslims to observe the sighting of the moon in neighboring countries and Saudi Arabia before the beginning of fasting.
National Muslim Council of Liberia and that of the National Imam Council of Liberia had their second meeting on Sunday, 15th of February 2026, corresponding to the 27th of Shaban 1447 Hijri. And after consultation and deliberations, they arrived at the following. The Sunday, February 15, 2026 is 27th of Shaban 1447. The Tuesday, February 17, 2026 is 29th of Shaban 1447 Hijri. And based on the above, the authority is urging Muslims or Muslim community throughout the Republic of Liberia to search for the Christian of Ramadan.
Sheikh Abdullah Masarid is the chairperson of the Crescent Sighting Committee of the National Muslim Council of Liberia. Away from home, reports say at least 20 people were killed on Saturday in the northern town of Titao, Burkina Faso, in a attack claimed by JNRM, an Islamist militant group linked to Al Qaeda. Among the dead were 7 Ghanaians burnt beyond recognition who have yet to be identified, said Ghana's Interior Minister Mohamed Mutaka Mubarak. They were part of a team of tomato traders on a supplied lorry targeted by jihadists. Road access to the area remains blocked, according to Ghanaian officials trying to evacuate other citizens who survived, making it impossible for embassy staff to visit the area. And 3 South Africans have been charged with murder following the killing of an e-hailing taxi driver, the man of whose death captured a dashcam footage has shocked many people. A video shared widely on social media shows a man and a woman tussling with the driver as a satellite, who they appear to be robbing. Satellite tried to fight back before one of the passengers appeared to strangle him until he goes limp. The trio, who were arrested over the weekend, were in court in Pretoria on Monday and have since abandoned their bail applications. They were not asked to comment on the charges. Well, on that note, that's how we come to the near end of this edition of King's Newsroom. But before we leave, a quick reminder of stories we followed in the headlines. Government of Liberia denounces tribal group. National Fuller Security of Liberia claims no knowledge of the group. Lofa County Senator Momo Saros predicts potential national security threat, says government continue outsourcing of vehicle registration and driver license services to Liberia traffic management who expose the country to more harm. You also heard in the news Liberia National Police arrest former members of Timor workers of Liberia during Monday's peaceful protest. Spokesperson of the protesters, Rabo Gompasi, says or vows to continue protest over government's own 7.1 million. Away from home reports say at least 20 people were killed on Saturday in the northern town of Titao, Burkina Faso, near sites claimed by JNRM, an Islamist militant group linked to Al Qaeda. 3 South Africans have been charged with murder following the killing of an e-hailing taxi driver, the man of whose death captured a dashcam footage has shocked many people. And thanks to our reporters, correspondents, and all those who helped in making this edition of King's Newsroom a success. Jenin Pesima brought you the news bulletin. Marvin Vaz at our control and handled the technical aspect of this edition. On behalf of the team, I'm Shemon Dale. I presented. Thanks for listening and watching.